What up? Happy Wednesday, the day I hate running shows. I told myself I'd never run on a Wednesday again, but here we are.
Something that didn't sit well with fans, darker comics. Even with the cartoons,
hope everyone's having a great hump day.
Still had to fight for the franchise's potential to be taken seriously. But the Turtles,
that is the 40th anniversary reproduction of #1. So basically, a guy named Rich Horn got the original negatives and printed those books using a similar printing press. So they're basically like reproductions for the 40th anniversary. So I think it would be,
in this 4th episode,
I don't know, the 12th print? Brian!
Before I dive into this episode,
yes, Seth. There's if you look it up on YouTube, there's a little documentary that goes over it. It's a really good watch. Actually, you know what, dude? I'll just put it on right now. If you got a minute, it's a great watch. Let's see if I can. I'm not gonna remember what this was. Hold on a second. I'm gonna try to get it for you guys. Did you send them on Whatnot? Here we go. Oh, if you're still there, Seth, this is a good watch. This is about this little documentary about the book that you see on the stand there.
What is the feelings? Some of it's that I fear I can't stop.
Oh yeah, you can just sort it out with Whatnot.
I don't know why.
I don't care.
I'm like this. I like being that guy.
It is on YouTube. Yep. It is called
The History Safe.
Reprinting TMNT #1 from the original 1984 negatives.
Plus years. But I don't remember.
But yeah, Phoenix, if your print came messed up, you could just get a refund from Whatnot. If you no problem.
Collecting is one thing, but making a piece of history is another.
Yep, it is on YouTube. Yep. Yeah, I can't even tell from your pictures, but it's good with me.
I definitely would consider myself an artist.
Oh, cool.
I enjoy that piece of it. But I'd almost think of it more of like a curator of a museum. I have literally every Ninja Turtles comic.
I should probably run stuff, huh? So, yes.
Even back when I was a kid,
if you haven't seen it, on Amazon, there's a documentary called Turtle Power. They did a really good job with that documentary, and I highly recommend it. And there will be a sequel coming out. They're working on another one as well, because they got so much footage from that first one that they couldn't fit it all. So yeah, it was that. I highly recommend the Turtle Power documentary.
Glorious. Everything's cataloged. I really
okay, cool. Yeah. Have you seen Batman vs. Turtles, the animated?
Every comic book, front to back.
If you haven't, I highly recommend that too. It's not very pricey. I think it was like $10 or $15 on Amazon.
And then that's where they sit.
But yeah, Phoenix, let me know if Whatnot gives you any trouble. Like, I was thinking about the way that we ran it. We ran them both together. So just Let me know if they give you any trouble, and I'll make it right regardless.
No one really knew what they were.
Sorry that your print got messed up, dude.
When the negatives came to me, I knew they were special. You could tell exactly what historical pieces these were.
I think I could be wrong, but I think he's talking about.
These were the original negatives that were used to plate the 40 body pages of the first second printing.
That's a
TMNT #1.
Cartoonist kayfabe.
It was pretty apparent when I took them out of
Okay, cool.
Like, this is a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, sorry that happened to you, man. I shipped them all flat. I don't like rolling them. So it's always, you run the risk of that somewhat.
Taking them out of the box.
But I fucking hate shipping prints, man.
Take care of them.
Next time I do that, which is actually going to be soon, I'm not doing prints. Pain in my ass. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's called. Yeah, you're right, JC. It's cartoonist kayfabe.
So just like with any valuable.
For future reference, I'm not selling prints. I'm not joking about that. I've got a stack of them right next to me. I'm not gonna list them.
Once I got the negatives and the comics spread out,
it's just a pain in the ass for everyone involved. Once I saw people wanted prints, I was like, that sucks, because some people want it rolled, some people want it flat. You're supposed to ship them flat because they will curve.
When negatives were used to
plate the they're just a pain in the ass.
Technicians would use red.
But sorry that happened, man.
Or clean up.
Like I said, if they, yeah, cool. I tried to take extra care with everything, but I knew something was going to happen.
Tiny areas, resulting in light leaks where you can see marks outside the page cover. The most obvious example of this is on page 29, where a strip of red lithographer's tape covers a line of actual artwork on the negative. And that resulted in a missing line in the first.
Yeah, man. There aren't going to be many people around who have that have those signatures on something. That was pretty cool.
Once I knew what I was looking for.
It was a lot of work for me, but I was I thought it was worth it. But yeah, I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, Phoenix.
The smoking gun is on page 29.
Yeah, I don't really have that happen ever. But if it ever does, just like keep the book, take your money, have a great day.
Put this down on it.
I do have Batman TMNT #6, I believe.
As soon as I authenticated what they were,
let me run this real quick.
Show people these.
Like, I have one guy straight up, he's straight up so scamming me. The only guy that dinged my perfect order rate. He sent me a picture of an empty box and was like, "There's nothing in it." And I was like, "Yeah, just to get your money back, dude. Fuck off."
To say we're doing it just like we did it.
Let me take a look.
The same kind of paper, the same printing techniques, and to get it printed in Maine, same as the original. All right, first technical.
So #6, I have the Eastman variant is 25, and then I have the regular cover, which is 15.
I think there's an aspect of documenting the beginning of one of the largest franchises in comic book history. Do you know anyone that doesn't know what a Ninja?
You want the Eastman one?
40 years this year.
Hold on a second, just grab it.
It's artistry. When you look at these and you look at how they're taped and how they're arranged.
Oh yeah, you had to know what you were doing. I mean, I'm very, very happy with that. Super cool. All the lettering is done on the page. All the effects are done on the page. This is the closest true version to the original art you'll see.
That's the #6, the Eastman variant.
Going through the process of creating something that was going to be our first official real comic. I've not seen these negatives.
But yeah, Phoenix, I'm so sorry that happened to you, man.
Since that time, almost 40 years ago.
I want to show you something really cool.
This is the one with the red tape. I did that. It's really nice.
I'll send you a little something, get your money back from Whatnot, and I'll send you something a little extra with your next order.
Originally, I didn't set out to do this when I started collecting. I wasn't going to reprint #1. But
awesome, man.
So far beyond the normal.
Thanks, dude. I ship next day, so that'll be out in the mail for you tomorrow. Appreciate you. You're very welcome.
Even if no one
I think that was my last one of those too.
I haven't seen a newsprint comic book in so long. I mean, the smell of newsprint, like that is Turtles.
This is just so exciting.
I think by reprinting this comic and staying as true as possible to the original production process, it's like reliving history. But it isn't just a copy of it; it's the copy of it. And
That's
feels
correct,
a lot like
Jamie.
the original.
Now but to let you know, there is a sequel and a third book, but that was from the TMNT Batman 1 series. And you're correct. There's only 6 in that. There's a Batman TMNT 2 and a Batman TMNT
Well, the
3.
first book was pretty
But
incredible.
the first run does end with that. With 6.
It was a tangible thing. Everything we did to make this happen came into line to get it in my hands.
I don't. Sorry. I think I've got some bits and pieces from the other 2, but not a full run. Let me double check this real quick.
The coolest thing I've ever seen.
Just double checking. I got some new inventory.
People would use the term completionist as if there's something to complete. But any collector knows you're never complete. You're never done.
Yeah. I don't. Sorry, man.
There's always something else to get.
All right. Let's see what it gives us next.
You mean an unsanctioned Black Ops team designed for psychological warfare, assassinations? Let's shut it down. Starling has been resurrected.
You know what, man? Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I can find out real fast for you. 1 second. Oh, God. This room is getting more and more treacherous by the day. So, I actually got it. There's a hardcover, too. So it looks like
I could stay for free. I could alter the story and the molding.
there's 6 in every one.
What about the canopy?
So yeah, the first one's 1 through 6, the second one's 1 to 6, and the third one is 1 to 6.
Help me on Earth, baby. There's no way the Conrad tour was included.
When you want points that can take you anywhere,
Help me on Earth, babe.
anytime, it matters where you stay. Hilton.
Oh yeah, man. I'll sit there and answer questions all day.
1989 to
It's one my favorite thing to do. Feel free to pop in here, ask a question, and peace out anytime.
becoming a money printing
A lot of people do that.
spawned licensed products.
What's up, Pyle?
Movies, video games, even a musical. But after that impressive stretch of growth,
Waiting for Brian to get in here.
it's only a matter of
That's
time
his turtle that he drew.
Ninja Turtles are irrelevant. Back to the sewers they came from. The franchise was about to enter a long, dark
Oh!
despair, marked by crises.
Did you say anything about my
unexpected breakdowns,
awesome artwork I got?
disruptions,
That's original art right there.
the breakup of its creators. By the end of the 90s, the franchise would end at its lowest.
Jimmy, I don't have 2 or 3, but if you need any from the first series, I can help you out there.
Join me today
You just
as
noticed
I
that?
explore the slow decline
Yeah, that's prime time. That's top shelf.
episode of History and a Half Show. Before I dive into this episode, I recommend you read Andrew Farago's book, TMNT, The Ultimate Visual History. It's been a valuable source for these videos. Now, let's get back to our history series. Chaos had long been the
Awesome.
barrage.
I love helping people
But Turtlemania's
get their,
extreme.
get their runs done.
Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird away from their creation.
I'll take a look around. I might have it in my personal collection, and I'm not married to it. I got the hardcover. Did I actually run that? Holy shit. Nope. Yeah, dude, I'll just sit here and talk all day and not run anything. I just do this for fun.
Guest artists who contributed to the comics.
No, but I think that's coming in either the end of this week or beginning of next week.
Fair enough.
And I told him what you wanted.
Exploded. Mirage struggled to fend off random copyright lawsuits. Every time a story Mirage didn't technically own was
I certainly will, Jamie.
They had to track down each creator
Absolutely.
and pay royalties, no matter how minor the contribution. Lawyers urged Kevin and Peter to
Appreciate you right back, man.
No one could later claim rights. Mirage sent retroactive.
Like I said, feel free to come in and hang out here anytime. We're always just doing a little TMNT and chill.
Which confirmed Mirage owned the material.
This is one I got graded myself.
Which clarified who controlled new creations. In some cases, creators could keep their character, unless it was adapted into the toy line or cartoon. In which case, they had to either sell the rights to Mirage and receive 50% of the royalties, or hold on to them and make the character unusable. Special pressure was put on these creators. Anyone who refused to sign risked having their story.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's my goal. Is I just want this to be a place that Turtles fans can hang out, chill, chat, ask questions, whatever. Whether you're shopping or not, you're always welcome here.
Still, most understood the legal.
And if you want to stay connected too, if you go to lookingfortmnt.com, the same way my name is spelled here, we've got like our social media and our Discord. We hang out and chat in our Discord all the time. And there's a giveaway button there, so if you win, you can win giveaways in the Discord as well. Feel free to join up. We've got like a channel for just posting your collection, channel for suggestions, obviously a TMNT channel, and I built out a channel today that aggregates turtle news from like 20 different sources. That's what I did all morning while I was supposed to be working.
Apart from the return of
yeah, we do have fun.
Main series, Mirage also published a color special titled Time's Pipeline.
And we're doing like different types of shows too. Like we had one of our followers, JC, playing Splintered Fate on Monday. We had him streaming on the TV while I ran stuff. But it's pretty cool if you know that game. Like anyone could just jump in and play. What's up? I remember who you are. You made it. What's up, dude? What? Oh man, you're a neutrino. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here to help everyone through that last hour of work that takes 3 hours. Oh.
Eric Larson, Rob Liefeld, Will Spatasha, Mark Silvestri, and Jim Valentino.
Man, got a lot of stuff.
Unlike Marvel and DC, Image promised creators ownership of their work, complete creative freedom. Given the popularity of these artists, their comics became instant bestsellers, dominating the charts. For independence, Image represented what Mirage and Tundra had always hoped to achieve.
What should we run? Let's just go through the rack. You can tell when I'm lazy because I just go through the rack.
Disillusioned creators like Rick Beach and Stephen Bissett soured on Mirage's
Oh wow,
contracts.
That's awesome. I wanted to run. I thought about it too. We've got like over 60 people in the rewards club right now, and I think like 20 are above gold. So like I could think I'm gonna try and run one of those shows where it's just for the rewards club. I have to push this back a little bit. All right, there we go. Ooh, that's a stretch.
Initially, the museum housed around 20,000 pieces from Robert Crumb to Frank Frazetta.
What's up, Big O?
Frank Miller, many of which were loaned from Kevin's own collection.
You can see I've still got my PS5 up there from the stream the other day.
Kevin soon invested in a publication that was closer to his heart. Heavy Metal magazine was, at the time, part of National Lampoon.
I've heard rumors that this book is going for like $80, $90 on some other dude's
the buyer had no use
shows.
He sold it to Kevin for $500,000.
I think that's funny.
For Kevin, this was a crucial step in reaching out to adult readers and European artists. Kevin ensured the magazine remained in publication for 2 decades, giving a platform to many artists who otherwise wouldn't have reached the US market. Since it was his dream come true, he never took a salary for his work. Meanwhile, the publishing company, Tundra, partnered with Virgin Communications in an equity deal with the Limelight Group, the production company run by Steve Barron, director of the first live-action TMNT film. The deal gave Tundra a minority stake and first look rights to Limelight's projects. Peter combined business with his love for motorcycles.
Welcome in, TMNT 13. Good to see you, dude.
A real-world motorcycle racing.
Good to see everybody today.
TMNT-themed Kawasaki's and involved multiple riders across disciplines.
Yes,
This team
but
was
done
also
in a blood red. They're supposed to be a blood red anyway. But yeah,
Meanwhile, Archie's TMNT adventures.
that's like it's basically the one I ran before it. Same thing, just different color. And then there's the color special. Use that, and then obviously City at War number 50. When that arc starts, that covers that cover too.
In the UK, Fleetway's reprints of the Archie Adventures shipped.
And of course, it really is just a redrawing of the number 1 cover. You know, they're all in the same stances and everything.
Hero Turtles faded. From September to December 1992, the 6th season of the Fred Wolf cartoon was aired on Saturday mornings through CBS. The season consisted of only 16 episodes and was syndicated during the week. The show's formula had become clearly repetitive by 1992, which was a concern, as competition was becoming increasingly innovative around them. Both CBS and ABC were losing the Saturday morning slot to the new kid in town, Fox. By November, TMNT drew 28% of kids watching TV, with a 4.8 out of 28 share in the Nielsen Station Index sweeps. But competition from Disney's Goof Troop and Fox's Batman the Animated Series made it clear the Turtles cartoon was starting to feel stale. The season was produced by Walt Kubiak, with Jack Mendelson as showrunner, Frank Rocco as art director, and George Goodchild as character designer. It featured the return of characters like Slash, Kerma, and April's aunt, and introduced newcomers such as Shrika, Creepy Eddie, and Rudolph Cabrata. True to tradition, the Technodrome shifted settings again, this time to the bottom of the Arctic Ocean.
Yeah, that news bot I was setting up this morning should be pretty cool. I've got it pulling from everywhere.
Mirage sued Fred Wolf for failing to honor royalty
Like
obligations.
anywhere that was like Turtles and had RSS.
Alleging Mirage
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
out of the cartoon and merchandising deal. Fred went on to claim that he had created the franchise as we know it by putting the turtles in the sewers, April in a jumpsuit, all things that were clearly depicted in the comics. Although it is undeniable that many elements of the franchise, such as their love for pizza or the Channel 6 news,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Like you basically like could come into the Discord and catch up on Turtles news chat, whatever, you know what I mean? Slowly building it out.
Another notable addition in 1992 was Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa, a cartoon created independently by Mirage artist Ryan Brown. Airing on ABC from 9 o'clock to 9:30, it didn't directly compete with the Turtles' hour-long block at 10. On the toy shelves, however, 2 lines...
Thanks for putting the request in there, Caleb, but I do not have any of those currently. Yeah, the only 4th print I have is a graded one. Yeah, I'm sorry. As soon as I get Mirage in, man, I get cleaned out like super quick.
Mark wanted to duplicate the success of the Turtles.
One of our followers, I'm in the market for that error too. One of our followers, JC, got one. Big jelly.
Until they abandoned their Saturday morning cartoon lineup.
Yeah, the Tails error is awesome.
That was how the show.
That's kind of like my grail.
And after a few years in development, it went on air in the fall of '92.
I can tell, man. Those are some. Those are some pain in the ass to find. The 4th print not so bad. For some reason, I feel like the 5th print is harder to find than the 4th print. But you know.
With no toys to sustain it, and ABC proving difficult to deal with on a property they didn't own outright, the show's fate was sealed. But enough of the Cowboys. let's get back to the turtles.
Booking.com has all kinds of stays. Because a romantic hotel works for some,
Not a mirror.
but not others. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
Babies don't stop, won't stop, can't stop for anything. And behind all those wild moves is an unstoppable Pampers 360 diaper. For an unbeatable fit that's up to 100% leak-proof. And now
Let's check it out.
tabs,
If you got time.
easier than ever. Tabs off, props up, pulls on. And they're off. Because they're Pampers. Behind every baby. Try a whole world of delicious Dunkin' Refreshers.
Let's take a look at him. From memory, it's real good, but sometimes. Yeah. Oh, shit. You sure you want this one? David Peterson signed it. I didn't see that. That's funny. But yeah, it's a really good copy too. No, let's get the light on it. That's so funny. Yep, don't tell Ralph. And yeah, the back's good too. Can't find a tick on it. Yeah, seriously.
By 1992, the toy line was already feeling the slowdown. Annual revenue had already dropped from $300 million in 1990 to $200 million by the end of 1991.
See, sometimes I learn things about my inventory on the Looking for TMNT show. Sometimes. That doesn't happen very often, but it happened today. Now I gotta look at the Mikey.
Preparing for a future beyond the Turtles, Playmates International began channeling its profits into Hong Kong real estate, which was booming in the early 1990s. Founder Thomas Chan even told Forbes in 1991
where is it?
Sales fell from nearly $500 million to just $100 million. The company could still remain profitable. Meanwhile,
Yeah, I think the Mikey's just, yeah, he's outside. Okay.
With a limited number gold-plated Leonardo figure.
Do you want it, man?
Introduced Murder, Monty Moose, Clawhead, Anthrax, King Lionheart,
Cool.
Scaletail, and Dr. Al, along with a wave of variants. Most notably,
I don't know what I have it up there for, but you're gonna get it for that. Free signatures today on the Looking for TMNT show. It's funny because it's funny because $15. What a steal. It's funny because that price tag on it says $25, and I very distinctly remember looking at it and being like, why is he selling this for so much? Oh well.
Riding its success, Konami released the Hyperstone Heist for the Sega Genesis, reusing much of the Turtles in Time's assets, levels, music, story, and animations. Both games were well received. Konami also pushed out a handful of handheld Tiger titles that year.
Nicely done.
Our last stop in 1992 was music.
No way!
Their Shells tour,
You made it! Congratulations.
Ran for 2 summers.
I forgot you said you had one to go.
Introduced Casey Jones and added new songs like Getting Down in Your Town, Pizza USA, We Stick Together, and Sing About It.
Yeah.
Song from the first show.
Oh, you got the green text too.
Though fans noted it differed from the live version.
No, man, thank you. Appreciate you. And like I said, I don't mind running that for what I had it up for, just because, support the show. Anyone who supports the show, I don't mind doing stuff like that. It's a cool thing. We found a cool thing together.
It wasn't a musical. The Touring Turtles appeared in The Mystery of the Cliffs, a U.S. Bureau of Land Management educational video about protecting heritage sites. It featured the Fred Wolf cartoon's voice cast, including Peter Renaday as Splinter, and reused John DePrez's score from the first film. '93 marked the end of TMNT's first volume. After 62 issues, the run concluded.
Yeah, man, thanks a lot. I really appreciate all the support. Keeps this train a-rolling.
As the new leader of the book, and tied up the revenge arc that began with issue number 1. Fans were finally happy to get some continuity going.
I'm gonna sell out of those so quick.
The comic book industry was highly competitive at the time.
Yes.
Like Mirage, with its
yes, Ryan.
Version of the Turtles, needed to make some changes to stay on the shelves. This is why, in October 19...
My favorite run, I would have to say, is...
in full color.
Huh.
The move was divisive among
probably
fans.
Volume 1, which I know is not... It's a cop-out. But... And to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of it. Volume 1 when it gets into the guest era. But I like the stuff that Kevin and Peter worked on.
Which proved divisive among fans. While many consider the move to
Hey, Ryan, is it the... But yeah, Volume 1 is probably my favorite run. I really like The Last Rodent too, if that counts. Ryan, did you... 2 through 4. Is that of the Eastman covers?
In fact, the Turtles would team up very early on Savage Dragon's ongoing series.
Okay.
Eric Larson's image. The crossover took place
I don't
Savage
see
Dragon
2. That's what's
special issue.
I'm delaying. Hold on.
But printing in color wouldn't be enough. The release of Volume 2 coincided with the significant...
I've got 3 through... I've got 3 and 4. Let me see.
It's estimated that around 20% of all comic book stores closed in 1993. While the typical attrition rate was around 10% in previous years, a 100% jump was immediately noticed by the industry. The crash was fueled by speculation. Flashy new number ones, such as Spider-Man, X-Force, and X-Men, along with constant character events, were being marketed as collectibles.
Yes, I see that.
But with massive print runs, the books had little long-term value.
It should be.
Speculators realized that collectibles would lose value and no one
just a second.
Them. They stopped buying. Additionally, some of them
I don't think anyone would have bought that out from under me.
Comics. Now events like the death of Superman were only
wonder if it just got
in a larger story that would later restore the status quo. In that regard, speculators might have felt that companies were taking advantage of their greed. But speculators weren't the only problem in this new crisis. Retailers blamed Image Comics for their erratic publishing record, citing it as the key cause
just a second, you guys.
of stores. Their books were
going to drive me nuts.
consistently late, and issues were sometimes released out of sequence. This created a cash flow problem for the stores, who had to order them 2 months in advance. By the time late books hit shelves, readers had already moved on. While Image Comics was responsible for the slow reaction from retailers in adjusting their orders, many of them had been in business long enough to understand that they were taking advantage of speculators. Wizard Magazine, probably with the best of intentions, served this side of the fan base with a monthly updated price guides. It was that monthly loop that allowed speculators to see their collectibles lose value, which probably accelerated the bubble burst. Again, it was amidst this chaos that TMNT Volume 2 was released.
Sorry, guys, just a second.
That Mirage was now more in control of the publishing side of things. New original books were also published. Following the Dino craze of 1993, Mirage published Dino Island, a 2-part miniseries by Jim Wilson,
Alright.
ultimately have an interesting connection with Volume 2. A new anthology series titled Snapcom Cafe showcased Mirage ideas through short stories that weren't necessarily connected to the Turtles, like Guzzy Lemons, Gizmo, Alien Fire, and Space. It also serialized a Casey Jones story, North by Down East, intended to run in 6 chapters, but cut short after 4. Mirage completed it in color the following year as a 2-issue miniseries. Blastron Cafe doubled as a testing ground for Mirage's next
drive me nuts. I found it.
The promised miniseries wouldn't arrive until over a year
Yeah, sorry about that, man.
Meanwhile, the Turtles teamed up again with the Flaming Carrot and the Mystery Men in a 4-part miniseries. And Mirage capped the year with a color special. The
So it's 2 through 4 you want.
Tom McQueen.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I separate Jetpack's inventory from my inventory, so sometimes I got to go through a couple different boxes to find something. There's 2, 3, 4.
The Adventure series saw the release of
Oh yeah, they're all good. But we can take a
However,
look here.
for the Turtles decreased, keeping the Mighty Tentacles book in the stands increasingly impossible, and their book was canceled after 9 issues. However, Steve Murphy and Ryan Brown had a plan to revive the Tentacles by creating an animated series and a toy line. They created an animation Bible and announced the target date of fall 1993. The Mutanimals cartoon faced some interesting
There's 2.
Many of its characters
you
were
can't
already
see that.
introduced in the toy line and the cartoon as villains. And with Fred Wolf Film already focused on putting the Space Usagi show on the air, the Mutanimals cartoon fell into the hands of Ruby Spears Enterprises.
Yeah.
This solved the animation side of the equation.
On the back though, you can see that.
Playmates wasn't interested in re-releasing
The little tiny guys.
That's
why you always say, oh, that was 4.
The action figures, there was no interest in creating a cartoon. And without a cartoon, the Mutanimals comic book had no chance of returning. Archie still
3.
pushed some Mutanimals adventures in the form of miniseries for Leatherhead and Birdie. Other publications in this universe in 1993 included the Mutant Universe Storybook and 2 April miniseries.
You can see there's like a light white guy right there.
Serialized adventure in the back of the Turtles book, and what would end up being their last adventure.
And then again on the back, there's a little tick there.
As I explained in the
Focus.
previous episode, Kevin Eastman's Tundra Publishing had been unprofitable.
There's that one.
By 1993, the company was handling expenses more responsibly. However, money was still
and 2.
especially for creators who failed to deliver work they had already been paid for. Options were floated. Shift half the line to superhero titles to subsidize riskier projects,
All right.
or scale back to 10 to 15 books as initially intended. However, Kevin was determined to continue supporting creators who had deadlines, even at a loss. He also suspected...
Yeah, there's some small ticks there too.
Under-ordered books.
Oh, you can see that.
Because his name was attached. To fix both perception and management, Kevin approached Dennis Kitchen of Kitchen Sink Press
2,
about a merger.
3.
He believed Dennis could make the hard editorial calls he avoided and steady the company. Kevin pledged $1.5 million for the first year, ensuring Kitchen Sink could attract creators they usually couldn't afford. While Kevin continued to bankroll profitable projects, he wanted.
Let me catch up on the chat.
On paper, it appeared that Kitchen Sink
Oh no, man.
acquired Tundra.
I checked over every book, but I know everyone's got a little bit of a different thing, so I'm happy to show you stuff anytime. I like to do checking condition and stuff. I have fun trying to find things wrong with books. So the Batman TMNT lot, they're 15 apiece for the regular covers, and they're 25 apiece for the Eastman variants.
This period did see the long-delayed publication of Melting Pot by Kevin Eastman, Eric Talbot.
But yeah, they're clean copies here. I'll just run them. Like I said, we do have 3 through 6, I believe, of the Eastman variants too. Just let me know if you guys want me to run that.
Peter were disappointed with The Secret of Muse. Since that film underperformed, producer Tom Gray agreed to their push for a darker, more action-driven sequel. Something that could appeal to all ages, not just the kids. Writer-director Stuart Gillard was on their side, and he agreed on giving the movie a
Take a look.
Unfortunately, all his pitches were being shot down by the 2 creators. It was only during a casual conversation about
Oh yeah, this is a nice was the Casey.
The film had some temporary subtitle stories developed, but would be released just as TMNT 3. It wouldn't be until its home release in international markets.
All right.
Subtitles.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Likely to capitalize on the popularity of the video game. Golden Harvest anticipated weaker box office returns and cut the budget to $21 million.
Looks like there's like a tiny bit of color rub right there. Little guy.
With Eric Allard's All Effects, a local film.
Little guy.
Own performance system for the Turtle Den. The Turtle Den set was relocated to Astoria, Oregon, where feudal Japan was also recreated for the shoot.
Oh, thanks for sharing the show, dude. I really appreciate that.
Turtles traveling to the past to battle English trader Dirk Walker, with their actions loosely inspired by James Clavell's Shogun, sparking the Edo period of Japan. Released on
I'm gonna probably run these one at a time.
a date celebrated as the first TMNT did. The film grossed about $42 million domestically and approximately $50 million.
I think I'm gonna run these one at a time just because they're.
Believed that the movie
I mean, yeah.
profit its theatrical run and later found an audience on home video. While the creators felt the movie wasn't as bad,
Because I think he wants a different lot than you want, and you know I'm always happy to.
the change in animatronics.
So you want the 3 Freddy covers?
This, paired with the shrinking audience of the franchise, may have been the reason for a lukewarm performance at the box office. For Golden Harvest, it was clear that the Turtles were losing steam, and TMNT 3 became the last movie they produced.
Yeah, man. I figure
It was thanks to a third movie.
I'll let the market decide who gets it. You know what I mean?
UK for one more year. But
I don't-
like the previous 75
I don't want to be mean.
there were no
No, you can't have it.
In Mexico, Division Comics concluded its run of Tortugas Ninja, which featured its own stories and characters, as well as redrawn adaptations of the Archie comics. The book was published twice a month, but after suffering some interruptions in 1993, it became monthly. It lasted 56 issues.
Sweet, that worked out. Cool. And this is my favorite of those. I love that Casey.
Every day. Nature made. Made to care for
Yeah.
every day.
And it was 2, 3, and 4.
Let's try Evo. It's real laundry magic. With 6 layers of clean power, new Tide Evo makes stains disappear.
Is that right? Let's make sure.
Like magic. New Tide Evo is real laundry.
Okay, cool.
Second razor for my pubic area. Game changer. Made specifically for
What is she saying on the TV? Okay.
Get one of these Jimmy John sandwiches, chips, and a drink for $8.99. Choose Turkey Tom with all natural turkey or Pepe.
I have the Green Ranger Shredder figure
Delicious.
from the Power Rangers crossover.
Limited time at Jimmy John.
No NECA. Just last roaded NECA. Awesome, dude. I think this is gonna work out.
Things were changing.
And then 4 is the last one.
After a 5-year run in syndication, the Fred Wolf cartoon moved to the USA Network, with a proposed start in the fall of 19.
I think I've got him up for 40.
Secured through a 3-year licensing deal. The move was a sign of the times. The FCC was increasing pressure for more educational content in kids' programming, and syndicated shows were struggling against network programming blocks and cable. Kids were simply choosing not to watch syndicated TV.
Yeah, I think the Shredder is 40.
Syndicated primetime shows, however, continued to be profitable for a few more years. It was thanks to the USA Network programming law that the European side season of 1990 was finally brought to the United States. This is why these episodes are usually paired with the 7th.
Thanks, dude. Really appreciate you.
But they were meant to be watched after the premiere of the 4th season. The 7th season aired on CBS from September to October as part of their Saturday morning block.
You rock, man.
Where it shared space, back to back, with Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
You'll find some more extras with your package.
A TMNT-inspired show from Marvel Productions, Biker Mice from Mars, debuted in syndication this year and would last 3 seasons. The real disruptor, however, was Fox.
Why did I run 6? Oh, why don't bet on that.
Posed a real threat to the Turtles.
Good eye. Jesus.
Same audience, but the Power Rangers were
4.
also allowed to use real violence against their enemies. Season 7 marked the end of an era behind the scenes.
Well, dude, I'm gonna tell you something. People always tell me, don't put anything extra in, and I'm like, I'm gonna put more extra stuff in now.
took over the art direction of the show, while Frank Rocco and George Goodchild stayed as character designers.
Is that all you wanted for the Batman TMNT, dude?
Was Daiwan Animation, a South Korean company. Visually, it's one
okay, cool, perfect. Perfect.
This season also lost James
Thanks again, dude.
Shredder due to conflicts with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. By Townsend Coleman the remainder of the episodes. On screen, season 7 was loaded with fan favorites. It adapted the
I love that series. They did such a good job with it.
Antrax, Urdu, Toka, Razar, and Dirk Savage, while also bringing back the neutrinos, Rat King, Leatherhead, Slash, Chromedome, Kermit, Brown Chef, Dirtbag, Baxter Stockman, Mondo
I ran
the Poke Frog.
2. I did run the 4th one.
Stand out in particular. 1. Explore the origins of the Foot Clan.
Yeah, I ran the 4th one, but I thought you did. Maybe I was like, oh, I misunderstood. You didn't want that one. Did you want the 4? Oh yeah, because I ran it as a 6. Oh well, here you go. There's your bonus.
Something that had already influenced the artistic decisions during this season.
Try and stop me. Man, I appreciate, you're too kind. I appreciate the support. Like I said, you guys are the reason I get to do this, and I have so much fun doing it. You know?
By the 1993 holiday season, Power Rangers
you rock, man.
Both TV ratings and toy sales in the U.S., cutting into the Turtles' market share.
Yes.
That year's basic figures included Mona Lisa.
Exactly. Well, it looks like everything's tilted slightly. Well, it probably is. I gotta move that. I don't like touching this rack. It stays there.
Universal Monsters, Turtle Trolls, Game Turtles, and figures from the third movie. Playmates also produced the Channel 6 news video with Toon April and the Technodrome Scout vehicle, while a Castle Place planned as a tie-in was designed but never produced. Konami's reign of turtle games got severely disrupted, first by Capcom in
I'm making a big push on the Discord too.
and later in 1996 by Midway, with the release
I've got ads out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm just playing with the ads. See how it works. If it works good for us, we'll keep doing it.
Tournament Fighters in late 1993, but in 3 different yet similar games for the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and the Nintendo Entertainment System. The Super Nintendo edition was released in December, featuring characters such as Asuka, Armageddon, Chromedome, War, Cyber Shredder.
Yeah, dude, I was fighting with those bots this morning. I ended up just saying screw it, and I put two bots in because I couldn't get Facebook to work on one.
Exclusive characters included Casey Jones, April, Ray Fillet, and Sisyphus, with Triceraton, Krang, and Karai serving as bosses. The game had a completely different soundtrack from the Super Nintendo version, and it was the first one to include April as a playable character. The NES edition was released in early 1994, and it was the last game released by Konami for this platform. It included Casey, Pothead, and Shredder, with Super Shredder as the final boss. It also included its own soundtrack. Despite its novelty, Tournament Fighters underperformed, partly due to
Love Tournament Fighters
in the franchise. It marked the end of TMNT.
Absolutely, man. I'll be here. Take your time.
Only Tiger handhelds keeping the brand alive. The Turtles wouldn't return to mainstream gaming for over a decade. Despite the ongoing crisis in the comics market, Kevin and Peter were brainstorming a new direction for the franchise. They considered bringing the Utrons back to Earth, reimagining April as a female version of Nobody, and giving the Turtles secondary mutations with new abilities that would become the focus for the following years, with many of these concepts seeing the light of day during Peter's Volume 4. It's unclear whether these changes would have taken place during Volume 2, because Peter would later mention in an editorial that they were planning to revive the black and white comics. They were even planning on working.
There he is,
That was why
Mr. America.
The slide glass window through which they could exchange pages worked on. Unfortunately, this
Hey,
never went.
hey, listen.
The decade. Earlier, I mentioned the next.
I gotta test it. I mean, I could try it. I can make private shows, but I don't think it would push. You know what I mean? It wouldn't push the stream out. So I have to do that with a public show. I tried to tell people, like, I put it in the thing, like, it's not a real show, like, it's a test. And sure enough, I get like 10 people in every time.
Comic book creator and veteran Jack Kirby, who died that year. Both Stupid Heroes and Xenotech saw all their issues.
Yeah, it's really a real show. I did a pop-up. I haven't done a pop-up in a while.
A company had already trademarked the name, and AC decided to change it to Recombatants Team Dragon Fighters. Even though all 3 issues were finished, only one ever saw print due to poor pre-orders. Farley has since planned to complete the story with a 4th issue in a graphic novel format. As with most shared universes, the books were meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I tried to be like, it's a multicast test. Like, this is what it is, and people are like, what? I think people are like, what the fuck is that? They just come in.
Trading cards, with 4 additional cards available by mail after submitting 10 crews of purchase.
Kodiak, what should I run? What do I do next?
After North by Down,
You the boss man. It's your show.
His own 5-issue miniseries with Raphael.
Listen, it's your show.
While it would start getting published, the whole story would later be completed as body count through Image Comics.
It's the Kodiak show. You get to decide what we run.
Mirage Studios was still
I could run. No, if you don't tell me, I'm just gonna run nothing. I'm just gonna watch TV.
And a short pilot was produced by Stan.
There's 9 people in here. 10 people now. What's up, everybody?
Unfortunately, the flop.
Check the show notes for info on the show. Follow us for regular Turtle shows. Go to lookingfortmnt.com, same way my name is spelled. You can join our Discord where you can win giveaways and all sorts of fun stuff. But definitely check out our Discord. It's popping in there. We love it.
Deal felt worthwhile, and they decided to wait. You need to remember that the franchise was a decade old, but at the time, no one was sure they would.
Kodiak, what do you think? Did you say
14 months after Kitchen Sink acquired Tundra, the
weird stuff?
was acquired by Ocean Capital.
We can do weird stuff. I think I got weird stuff. What's this?
Like the Crow, Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
Or do you want to do sign stuff? Let's do sign stuff. I never do sign stuff. This is Steve Levine. He did this cover with Kevin Eastman. It's got a little turtle head sketch on there.
The loss of Mirage's informal, creator-friendly ways hit Steve Murphy hard. With the failure to relaunch the Mutanimals in comics, cartoons, or toys, he made the drastic decision to kill them off. Such shock tactics weren't unusual in the 90s, but it was a particularly violent move for an Archie book. Murphy's plan was to resurrect the team later in a darker, edgier form, but he never got enough time to complete his plans in the Adventure series. The death of the Mutanimals.
Look at how long the title of that book is.
Were Slash sacrificed.
Signed with Remark, TMNT, the last. No problem, dude.
Saga this year was Dreamland, a multimedia tie-in with a new Playmates release known as Cyber Samurai. The curious thing about this darker-than-usual saga that took place mainly in the future is that at some point it was meant to be a spin-off miniseries for a new Spectrum. Archie's been trying to make Spectrum happen for a while, with the intention of bringing back its Golden Age superheroes. This iteration of the imprint was aimed at...
This one is signed by Steve Levine, a little cheaper. It does come with a certificate of authenticity.
For undisclosed reasons,
Is that Ralph's
the launch of
signature?
the imprint was postponed indefinitely, and Dreamland was published in the Adventures book. While things were looking gloomy in the United States, it looked even worse in the UK, where Fleetway ceased publications of Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles Adventures. But not everything was lost for the European market. Interest in the Turtles remained strong in Italy, where they shared space as a feature in the Corriere dei Piccoli magazine until 1994. That was when the Tartaruga Ninja moved to the long-running children's anthology book Il Giornalino. What made this run so unique was that it presented a unique continuity that blended elements from the movies and the cartoon, as well as its own creations. In 1994, the Turtles left a gap in syndication that was quickly filled by another Mark Friedman project, Street Sharks. Backed by a Mattel toy line, the property debuted strongly, ranking as the second best-selling boys action toy line behind Star Wars. Friedman applied the same strategy that had worked for the Turtles tie-in products, and heavy cross-promotion. At CBS, the Turtles entered a new phase with the 8th season, part of the CBS Action Zone block
What up?
and Skeleton Warriors. Those two shows only lasted a season, but all three shared the same toy partner, Playmates, even released a free comic to promote the block. The season aired from September to November and consisted of only 8 episodes.
All the bots worked. I'm happy.
The Red Sky seasons. These seasons were shorter and much darker.
We got the
Tighter continuity
Channel 6
with
News
episodes.
bots.
The creatives behind the show didn't feel any remorse for stealing the Red Skies from the Batman animated series because, in their words, a Red Sky wasn't a copyrightable character. The retooling of the show aimed to engage with an audience that was growing older. To achieve this, a new artistic direction was necessary. Icons of the past were abandoned, like April's yellow jumpsuit, the Channel 6 building, and most of the recurring cast. CBS also pushed for more bickering between the Turtles. Under Fred Wolf's request, Turtles looked more heroic, more muscular. The original theme song was also replaced with a new hard rock version that felt too much like a
This one's signed by Rich Woodall, the artist.
The intro also included short sequences from the first live-action movie, because it was the darkest of the trilogy. The Turtles had been losing and this was the first time CBS asked to amp up the violence, a reaction to the levels of action expected from other shows.
Yeah, that's it. It's true.
However,
Yeah, if you have, what I would recommend you do is just turn on the notifications that are like mention you. Like you can do that. So only if someone's like tagging you specifically or using the everyone tag.
David Wise became the sole showrunner, joined by Roy Wilson as art director, George Goodchild as character designer, and Bill Wolf as
Why can't I
producer,
find this book?
replacing Walt Kubiak. Animation was handled by Dai Wong in Korea. The season introduced new characters like Agents Wesley Knight and Alex Winter in Darkwater, the criminal
Welcome back, JC.
organization known as Havoc and Krakus. But it was also the end of the run for many recurring characters and villains, including Bebop and Rocksteady.
Everyone's back. Look at that.
By Bill Martin, who would only return later as a guest star. By the end of the season, the Technodrome would end
I'm
up
never lonely on the look of the TMNT show. That's for sure.
Krang, Bebop, and
Do you guys like Brian's artwork on the top of the rack there? That raft?
Booking.com has all kinds of things because some love a rustic cabin. Others feel differently. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
Pampers 360 has an unbeatable fit that's up to 100% leak-proof.
When you've been around for 150 years, you learn a few things.
Dude, Brian made out like a bandit today. I had a Donnie micro series listed, and I didn't see the signature on it, but it was signed by the artist. And I was like, we'll just run it for what I had it for. And then he got a free Batman Turtles book, too. That one's also signed by Rich Woodall. Yeah, we like that.
Real life.
Haha, you got muted.
Floors, but I have Rejuvenate All Floors Restored to help keep them looking like new. With just one coat. The penetrating formula fills in scratches, gives my floors a sparkling shine, and adds protection. So I can breathe new life into the floors throughout my home. Give your floors a long-lasting shine with Rejuvenate Floor Restorers. Rejuvenate. Clean is a powerful thing.
Built on ideas from Kevin and Peter, and screenwriters, New Line Cinema announced plans for a 4th Turtles movie. Unlike the earlier films, New Line would produce it directly, giving them a share of the merchandising profits. An ad in the CBS Action Zone free comic even revealed its title, The Next Mutation. The script featured a fifth turtle named Kirby from another dimension, along with the secondary mutations Kevin and Peter were considering for the comics. But New Line ultimately passed, judging the project too risky. Without their backing, the movie shifted to the Motion Picture Corporation of America. Eric Allert, whose company All Effects built the suits for TMNT 3, was attached to direct, with a modest 12.
Yeah, I try to take care of you guys.
The timing
if I can.
wasn't right.
Usually I can. Come on, don't be like that. There we go. Like getting that, like that's the nicest thing I've ever seen in a show, one of our shows. I think you getting that book for JC.
Major studios were acquiring movie houses such as Miramax, Castle Rock, and New Line itself.
I was impressed.
The Turtles had less opportunities of getting produced on another independent studio during this time.
We're just running random shit today because Kodiak won't tell me what to run.
I already mentioned the multimedia tie-in with the Cyber Samurai Turtles, who appeared in the cartoon, the Archie comics, and the CBS.
Oh, I was supposed to be running.
Free comic.
I was supposed to be running Science
Star Trek, the Shogun line, featuring Chuck, more Universal monsters, and the unfinished Forgotten Sewer series. This year also
you
saw
need
the
the
of Mini Mutants. This subline will become
you need
popular
this book,
years ahead.
the Casey Jones.
Still, with demand shrinking,
Oh,
began slowing their effort.
we normally run it for $25, but I'll take $5 off of that bad boy for you.
Two direct-to-video musicals joined the Turtle catalog in 1994. Turtle Tunes and We Wish You a Turtle Christmas.
No.
By Christopher Films.
No, we're doing hookups today.
With altered lyrics to public domain songs by Tish Ray. The duo was working.
Yeah, it's early. That happens sometimes. They'll bid themselves up and stuff. I'm like, no. Sometimes they won't let me.
Turtle Tunes was released in
It's a constant battle. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate you. I don't know if to call you Ryan or call you Nine. I don't know. It's gonna be something. I'll figure it out.
And it followed the Turtles scrambling to buy Splinter a last-minute gift. Both were filmed partly on location in New York, surprisingly ambitious given their very low budget. Both releases were aimed at kids aged 3 and up, who probably had a high tolerance for unnerving turtle heads. The videos weren't particularly successful, and the company moved on to other things.
Yeah.
The comics industry was still reeling from the bubble burst when Marvel shook things up again by acquiring the regional distributor Heroes World to handle its own books. The idea was simple: cut out the middleman and keep more profit. But with Marvel holding the largest market share, this move crippled other distributors who could no longer carry their books. This would trigger a chain reaction that would destabilize the entire market. While the idea had its merits, Heroes World wasn't equipped for nationwide distribution. As a result, they couldn't keep up with the demand, which caused issues to be late, sometimes incomplete or damaged. The lack of product created yet another.
I love that show. Such a good show.
That sent retailers into bankruptcy.
I love that I have I got an iPhone literally just to multicast, and so I have two phones. It used to be I couldn't look at my phone while I had a show going on. Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's why we do it. If I could do that every time, I would die. I'd die happy. I really appreciate you, dude. We try to bring that every time.
Compared to other publishers, Diamond was known to be picky about which books to carry. As you can imagine, this didn't help keep Volume 2 afloat. But it would be a different disaster that would take Mirage out of the race altogether.
Oh, dude, thanks for the share. You rock.
One of the apartments above Mirage burst, causing a flood that destroyed inventory.
Thanks so much, dude.
Without the art, Mirage.
Like I said, we can just make people happy doing this, man. Like,
Volume 2 was
I could
canceled.
never sell a thing, and I would, as long as we're just vibing, man, we'll do this forever.
Between Savage Dragon and
I had so much fun. I really appreciate you, dude.
Issue 13 will be the last published by Mirage. With all the books being canceled.
Oh no, JC.
Dark Horse.
Yeah, there's an orange and a green version.
Having tested the waters at Image, Peter offered Eric Larson the opportunity to launch an ongoing TMNT series there. More on that later. In other news, Kevin got married again this year to Julie Strain, an American actress.
I think orange had a lower print run.
Kevin also
Don't worry, man. I think I've got multiples of those. I can double check, but I wouldn't sweat it. You don't have to get it today. I can also just pull them and put them aside. I'll do that for you.
Coinciding with the end
No sweat, dude.
as a publisher, the NinjaTurtles.com site went live under the care of Dan Berger, Molly Bodine, and the technical expertise of AC Farley. The website would have news, character profiles, episode synopses, and other features. Up until this point, fans of the franchise relied heavily
Either way,
on
if you can't get a hold of her,
newsletters and
I have no problem doing that for you.
about the Turtles. Although
I'll either put them aside or I'll check and make sure I've got a couple of them.
Back at Archie Comics, it was becoming clear that the end was as a result, Steve made Jara and Raphael break up.
You don't have. You're all paid up, dude.
Saga announced titled The Forever War and was supposed to come out in May. Details about what was in the plans for the series are somewhat lost to time, but it is my understanding that the book was intended to conclude at the end of that saga, and a new volume would follow. Perhaps worried about the increasing darkness in the title and the downturn in sales, Archie's editor-in-chief, Victor Gorlick, and publisher, Michael Silvercleese, questioned Murphy about his book.
Yeah, Mel, I do.
Discovering he was doubling
If
down
you go to the auction tab, all the turtle stuff is in the auction tab. If you use the search and type in figure,
there were
I have a lot of action figures.
Archie knew Mirage was
They're-
leaving the
I
US
just
market. This was an opportunity
usually
to
Tuesdays I do my action figure show,
without competing.
but this is a pop-up, so it can be whatever you want. Yeah, I've got a lot of action figures there, but I think the best way for you to search it, because like I said, there's a huge stack of them behind me, is to go to the auction tab, type in figure or action. I'm pretty sure all the figures have figure in them.
The entire situation. The Archie series concluded in 1995 with 2 inventory stories spanning 72 issues. For years, it remained the longest-running TMNT title ever published. The 9th season aired from September to November on CBS Saturday mornings, the last remnant of the CBS Action Zone. Produced by Caravallo and directed by Bill Wolfe, with Kyle Menks serving
Good luck on your
as art
search.
director, and character designs by George Goodchild and Frank Brunner. The show was animated by Shanghai Morning Sun Animation Studio. CBS
Kodiak?
reportedly
One of the fun things I've learned about Kodiak in our time together is he does not like to be put on the spot.
stepped away. The network tried to
So every now and then I hit him with it,
by replacing
just to keep him on his toes. But I generally try not to make him anxious.
Carter Dawson. But the changes quickly proved unmanageable, and Wise was lured back in with a higher paycheck to salvage the season, though his heart was no longer in it. This was his last year as showrunner. The introduction of Carter was hard to handle. The character shared almost all the same personality traits as the Turtles, leaving Ron, who had considerably less screen time this season. Carter was a ninja who wanted to learn from the manga.
Don't you be talking to people about my Peter book. I got the best book signed by Peter.
Wise hated Carter with a passion, but there was nothing he could do.
Is the
about
Leo.
it. The network wanted more of Carter on the show. One of the ideas for the 4th movie also made its way into this season. The Turtles getting secondary mutations. But unlike the morphing powers from the proposed film, these turtles became monstrous, out of control while under the effects of their mutations. This season also introduced characters like High Tech, Medusa, Jet McCabe, Kronos, and Doom Quest. In Japan, the Turtles had historically struggled to gain traction. The cartoon was dubbed toys were distributed by Takara, but they never reached the same level of
Yeah.
popularity seen in Europe.
Let's do it.
Americans. In 1995, Dengeki Comics attempted to boost interest with a 3-volume manga, Mutant Turtles, Super Turtles, released alongside a matching toy line. The series introduced the Mutazones, which transformed the turtles.
You are so welcome.
Into versions of themselves, a trope familiar to manga readers. The concept later received an anime adaptation.
Just like your other stuff, that'll be out tomorrow morning. We gonna ship them fast.
By 1995, turtle sales had plummeted from $200 million in 1992.
Kodiak, do you want one for 20?
For the
I got another one.
years of this decline, Playmates International stayed profitable, just as Thomas Chan had predicted.
Or am I missing?
New
I'm not
products
understanding.
took much of the slack in turtle sales, which dropped from more than 80% to less than 60% of the company's business. However, in 1995, the company posted its first loss since 1987, amounting to $12.6 million. Much of this came from an investment.
But I've only got one more.
Ideal Rozier, and the heavy startup costs of a new video game division, Playmates.
Okay, Google.
Kai had a breakout hit with Earthworm Jim, a quirky platformer that spawned its own toy line, but it struggled against Nintendo's dominance. On the toy front, 1995 saw the release of the Super Mutants, Jim Lee designed turtles, Metal Mutants, and an expanded line of Mini Mutants. Meanwhile, Mark Friedman continued to expand beyond the turtles, helping to launch another comic project, toy line, and video game, Judge Dredd, starring Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. At one point I had thought about starting later, but then Brian had mentioned, and he's like, dude, like you help me get through the last half hour of work, and I was like, all right, I'll keep going at 4 then.
Non-artists remaining, and Gary Richardson, who stepped in as
No, we weren't. We weren't talking about that.
Many artists shifted to working from home, visiting the studio only occasionally. With such little licensing activity left, Steve Levine moved back to Maine, and Ryan Brown returned to Ohio. The only comics-related project Mirage touched that year was a crossover with Creed, though it was published elsewhere. By the end of the year, Dan Berger's long tenure doing the newspaper strip ended due to low demand, freeing him up to work on his own material. After the end of the Archie Adventure series,
You guys want me to run my Leo? My Laird signed Leo?
The ongoing series.
I'll run it.
Aimed more at regular comic shop readers than kids, it was a solid effort, but poor sales killed any chance of continuing. Meanwhile, Steve Murphy and Chris Allen carried on Ninjara's story without the Turtles in Furlough, published by Antarctic Press. 3 chapters were published, but the story was never completed because Steve and Chris weren't in the right mindset. Depressed, Murphy spent some time traveling the world. In Japan, Studio B Media, in partnership with TV Tokyo, produced a 2-episode original video animation titled Mutant Turtles Chojin Densetsu, usually translated as Legend of the Super Mutants. This anime was explicitly created to promote a line of TMNT toys in Japan, the Super Mutants and Metal Mutants from Takara in 1995. The first VHS.
Oh no, I'd have to make a listing for it. That's gonna take forever. Never mind. I was just gonna run it for a stupid high price anyway. Pretend I did. It's so funny. Ha ha ha.
And even merge into a turtle saint. A second volume followed in 1997. Meanwhile, in Germany, a non-owned hockey team in Hanover officially branded itself the Hanover Turtles. Formed by Canadian, American, and local players, the team played in the first league from 1996 to 1998 under the official TMNT banner.
Can you guys tell I'm feeling better today? Finally on the other side of that. Whatever I caught in Maine.
Old Spice Gentleman's Body Wash. Full of vitamin B3.
Parameters without digging through code every 5 minutes. Create validation checks before runtime so impossible inputs get rejected early. In plain English, don't treat code.
What do you think I should run, guys? We could do some volume 5.
Always handmade.
We could do. We already did slabs. We did the rack.
Your craving calls. Get your burger guy on the line.
We did some signed books. I could keep doing signed books.
Mother's Day is your moment to celebrate Mom.
What do you guys
From finding
think?
the perfect gifts and hosting to bringing everyone together, she does it all. And Nothing Bundt Cakes makes it easy to celebrate all that she does. Like our strawberry cheesecake swirl, classic white cake filled with creamy cheesecake filling, swirled with real strawberry glaze, finished with graham streusel and our signature cream cheese frosting. Now available in more sizes. For every way you want to celebrate Mom, bring the joy. Nothing Bundt Cakes.
You guys won't help me at all. My mods aren't helping me.
As mentioned,
I don't know what to run.
Raj licensed the Turtles to Eric Larson.
You just want to hang out?
Too busy to handle the series himself, Larson delegated it to a new team. Writer Gary Carlson and artist Frank Fosco, producing the book through his highbrow entertainment studio under the Image banner. Volume 3 debuted in June 1996 with a sharper, edgier tone, deliberately distancing itself from the current. Although Eric initially announced his return to black and white to please fans, the reality was more pragmatic. The first issue was planned in color, like most Image books, but low pre-orders forced a cost-cutting switch. The stark look without toning was jarring to some readers, though Fosco leaned into it with a Sin City style approach. Apart from its fast-paced and extreme take,
Just a second, guys.
continuity with other characters from the Larson side of the Image universe. Early on, Carlson ran ideas past Peter Laird, but Peter burned out.
Oh, dude, no worries at all.
Rarely objected. In fact, Kevin and Peter even suggested killing Splinter, an idea wisely abandoned. Even before the switch to black and white, Eric knew that differentiating the Turtles was going to be hard. The reason being that even in color, they would all be wearing red bandanas. So he asked Gary and Fred to give the Turtles something to distinguish them from each other. They did this from the start by scarring Raphael's face, making Leo lose one hand, and turning Donatello into a cyborg. Additionally, they turned Splinter into a mutant bat creature. Gary wasn't worried about breaking Mirage's toys because he assumed that, given their mutant and reptilian nature, they could regenerate body parts. Since Image had an exclusive distribution deal with Diamond, the book was advertised through the Diamond Previews catalog, thereby increasing the Turtles' visibility to comic shops. Unfortunately, shipping and production delays would plague the run. At the same time, Image published Body Count, the long-delayed Raphael and Casey Jones miniseries by Kevin Eastman and Simon Bisley. Together, Volume 3 and Body Count represented a hard swing against the king of the franchise, embracing extreme violence and darker themes to court disillusioned older fans. The final season of the Fred Wolf cartoon aired on CBS Saturday mornings from September to November 1996. Under undisclosed, unfortunate circumstances, Rob Paulson decided not to return as Raphael in High Tech and was replaced by Michael Gough, making this the only season without the original
Thank God.
actors. It was
I just went up there and I said nothing.
Kyle Mank, character cleanups by George Goodchild. The season was animated at Dialogue Animation Studio. David Wise did not return, and he was replaced by Jeffrey Scott as showrunner. Jeffrey closed all the
Yeah, I feel that.
previous seasons. He even brought back Shredder and Krang for 3 episodes before sending them back to space, never to be seen again. Carter was also written out of the show by the end of the season. The Turtles were cured of their secondary mutations, and after defeating Lord Dreg one last time, Master Splinter graduated the Turtles, as he considered there was nothing else he could teach them. The series ended on November 2nd, 1996, with a run of 193 episodes. However, because the final season didn't air in every U.S. market, many fans considered it a lost season. With the last CBS Action Zone show off the air, CBS was losing the battle
Dodged a bullet.
Saturday morning against Fox and the new WB network. But all of them were also losing advertisers to Nickelodeon. One of the often cited reasons for the show's end was the pressure the FCC put on networks regarding kids shows that weren't educational or informational. Networks were forced to provide a minimum of 3 weekly hours for this type of educational content. However, the reality is that the show had run its course. To this day, remains the longest-running Ninja Turtles show of all time. Unfortunately, it was also the end of the USA Network contract, which meant that the show would go completely off the air in the United States. It's not like the USA Network had much of a choice. The massive media mergers of the 90s brought USA under the umbrella of NBC Universal Cable. They eventually decided to remove all the animation from the channel, and on September 15th, 1996, the Cartoon Express made its last stop. Up to this point, most TMNT fans met at conventions and special events. But the rise of the internet made it easier than ever to stay connected and keep the fans alive. Around this time, the Usenet newsgroup alt.fan.ninjaturtles.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a little bit of water. Oof.
Interaction. Fans also used the group to trade VHS tapes, toys, and other rare materials. Soon, they began creating web rings that linked sites from other fan communities, such as the TMNT-L listserv mailing list.
It's hot in this room fast.
Chat line and the comics and animation forum on CompuServe. It's worth noting that the cartoon's cancellation in 1996 came as a surprise to many fans.
I'm down. Consider me down for that.
Despite ongoing setbacks with its video game division, Playmates returned to profit.
I like that meme where it's like he makes 6 figures a year, and then it's just a picture of like six Ninja Turtles toys.
Still, analysts remain cautious.
All right, I'll be right back, guys. I'm just getting a drink of water.
Playmates even announced a multi-million-dollar campaign tied to a planned 4th TMNT movie, slated for the holiday season and set to be distributed by TriStar. In the end, the film never materialized in that form, and the screenplay underwent a complete rewrite with a new set of writers. For the toy line itself, 1996 was relatively quiet, with a focus on variants and the expanding Mini Mutants line. The comic book industry was still reeling from the crash, the distribution shakeup, and the drama was far from over. After the failed Heroes World experiment, Marvel filed for bankruptcy, abandoned self-distribution, and signed an exclusive deal with Diamond. This cemented Diamond's near monopoly over comics distribution, a dominance it would hold for decades, until the pandemic opened the door for competitors. Overall, the changes had little immediate impact. The studio wasn't publishing anything at the time. By 1997, declared a handful of artists in Northampton. Peter and Jim Lawson released a new graphic novel, Planet Racers, under a separate
I like that, Charlie.
Studios, which was located in a separate office. Through his Zarek Foundation, Peter also awarded a grant that year to Gene Lewin Yan for Gordon Yamamoto and the King of the Geeks. Gene would go on to create American-born Chinese, and decades later, become a writer of the 6th volume of TMNT. Things weren't going well for the Words and Pictures Museum. The Turtlemania money was starting to run out, and Kevin had no choice but to start selling original art to keep the museum running. A plea was sent to the comics industry, asking for their support for comics as an art form, but the museum didn't get the responses they were hoping for. At the same time, Kitchen Sink's Hollywood projects stalled, straining finances once more. The company was ultimately acquired by Disappearing Inc., along with Kevin's shares and interests, which by then had little real value.
What's going on in the Discord?
In Italy, Il Giornalino wouldn't feature Ninja Turtles again until
Thanks for the follow, Joker Monkey.
making 1997 a skip year for the Turtle fan.
Oh yeah, Charlie. I think that idea you had in the suggestions is great. I just have to make sure I don't cause a feedback loop,
In the story, the Turtles don a magical
which I think I can do. I've got a good idea on how to not do that.
they weren't even popular.
When Crew and I tried to co-host, he had like a bad feedback loop going on.
This marked the end of the Turtles manga and anime for the remainder of the 1990s. When Saban Entertainment discovered that CBS was not renewing the Turtles cartoon, they saw the opportunity to use the characters for a live-action show. At the time, Saban was merged with the Fox Kids Network, a kids programming block on Fox. Saban and Fox Kids had been very successful up to this point.
This one is signed, the certificate of authenticity is.
Power Rangers Turbo.
So return individually numbered too. This one's 88 of 250.
As usual, Kevin Eastman was the public face of the Raw. He got together with Saban and Fox to discuss the direction of the show. They wanted a new spin on the
Yeah, he did.
So Kevin shared
Yeah, he definitely did.
the screenplay of the still unproduced movie, Secondary Mutations, and the addition of a fifth turtle. Fox Kids loved the idea of adding
I could definitely see it helping with requests.
That it be a girl, or there would be no show. This put an enormous pressure on Kevin and Peter. Kevin knew that Peter was going to object to a girl turtle.
Yeah, I was hoping Rich would be at Jetpack's Free Comic Book Day this year, but he wasn't.
They had people to keep employed with full medical insurance. As Kevin expected, the concept of a fifth female turtle that got separated from the rest at the moment of their mutation and was later raised in China was too much for his partner. Peter didn't even want to have a fifth turtle in the first place.
If you guys think of any ideas, like for Discord or anything like that, I'm all ears.
Kirby was Donatello's counterpart from another dimension. By the end of the movie, he would have gone back to his world. There was nothing like that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Pitches, which only made Peter more frustrated. Peter understood that they had people to keep employed, but couldn't help but feel like they could have gone in a different direction, and Kevin and he held a united front. Opting for keeping.
But yeah, these 100 covers, I think he did a great job with them.
Didn't want anything to do with the new show. From that moment on, Kevin was the only creator involved with the live-action series. This marked a point of no return for the franchise. Kevin and Peter's relationship had been deteriorating throughout the Turtlemania years. They had very different personalities and ways of looking at their creation to begin with. In recent years, Kevin and Peter had spent less and less time together. According to Peter, the female Ninja Turtle disagreement was the straw that broke the camel's back. With the creators no longer on speaking terms and trying to keep the turtles alive, it was no coincidence that the next few years would see a sharper decline in creative output for the franchise. However, the rest of the world didn't know exactly what had happened. Therefore,
I can't wait for September, man. It's going to be so good to chill with you guys.
Bring life back to the turtles.
I was just telling my girlfriend, like, all my
the title of the movie,
I like hanging out with my turtle friends more than
according to Mark Friedman,
my real life friends.
It's also worth mentioning that the scripts were significantly different from what ultimately ended up.
Like, I'm gonna go live.
The show was intended to have an edgy style, inspired by
Someone said it. Was it you, Ryan? Wait, someone said do a pop-up show, and I was like, buddy, you're reading my mail.
Followed the script's general direction, adding slapstick humor that the writers would later
Yeah.
This is the reason why.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna do it, but I was kind of on the fence. But when you mentioned it,
every aspect of the show to downplay the violence,
I was like, all right.
Who felt the show wasn't goofy enough for kids to enjoy. The suits were created by the Kyoto brothers of Killer Clowns from Outer Space fame, based on designs by Michael Dooney. Special effort was put into making sure the show felt different from the cartoon. As a result,
yeah, that was fun. It's awesome to be just like chilling the Discord at work. Like I was just chilling in there all day today, working on the bot.
As well as the return of classic ones like Casey and April. The Turtle Den set was moved again, this time to Vancouver, where the show was filmed. The use of this set confused fans, as it led them to believe the show was set in the same continuity as the movies. However, in reality, it was its own. The set was used to capture the same tone as the films that inspired it. News about the existence of a fifth turtle broke through NinjaTurtles.com, And it didn't take long for the identity of this turtle to leak among the fans. Reactions varied, with their primary concern being which color she would wear. Fans at the time were mostly optimistic about the new concept. The show aired on Fridays at 4:30 p.m., with repeats on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Perhaps because of the novelty of the new fifth turtle, Venus de Milo, the show debuted with strong ratings. From October to November, it was the #1 weekly series, with an average rating of 3.7 among kids aged 2 to 11. This helped Fox Kids stay ahead of its competitors, ABC, Kids WB, and CBS, at least for a while. But keep in mind, these numbers didn't include cable. It was reported by Fox Kids during the first weeks that the show was also #1 on weekdays, beating all competition, including Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. However, it's unlikely that this situation persisted over time, for reasons I'll explain later. According to Fox, their #1 show was Ultimate Goosebumps with a 5.5 rating. Fans weren't all positive at the time, but they were hungry for more Ninja Turtles. And this show, with all its lip-syncing failures and crazy sound effects,
Definitely, it takes a hot minute to kind of get it all down. Like, I have people come in and they're like, I don't know what's going on. They're like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, what? Like, and I'm like, all right, I've got really good at explaining like volumes 1 through 4, and then Tales, and then just all the like weird stuff, movies. Like, I have people that literally just come in here and ask me questions and then leave. Like, thanks, look it, like, no problem, dude. See you next time.
D-Day will be the largest seaborne epic in history.
If you invade tomorrow, they're going to be washed away.
If we delay, we will lose this war.
Final decision will be on Fletcher.
It's time to conquer Earth.
Imagine this. Fresh Sheet Day could become Fresh Sheet Week with Downy.
Assemble teenagers with attitude.
More freshness. Night after night for up to 7 days. Downy breathes life into your laundry.
When you've been around for 150 years, you learn a few things. At Jockey, we craft clothes that move with you.
Yeah, they didn't count any of the side series crossovers or anything like that. So it's just main run books. There are more. Like, if you counted like Last Ronin, Batman Turtles, Power Rangers Turtles, Stranger Things Turtles, Street Fighter Turtles. They're not counting any of that stuff. Yeah, I don't think they're counting the Archie stuff either. I could be wrong about that, though.
According to NinjaTurtles.com, the movie was taking a
Yeah.
let the show grow, but would be released in 1998. Around the same time, Playthings magazine reported that Surge Licensing and Orion Pictures had struck a deal for the fourth movie, with a full-scale licensing and promotional push planned. But, like Playmate's similar announcement the year before, none of it ever came to pass. In August 1997, Richard Sallis,
okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
US branch, the key figure bringing the Turtles to toy shelves back in 1988, resigned from his position. That same year, Playmates launched the Next Mutation action figures, headlined by the much-hyped new turtle, Venus de Milo. But even with a TV tie-in, sales failed to rebound. Other lines included Mutant Masters, Stretch Turtles, and Dino Turtles. Because production was scaled back in response to weaker demand, many of these figures became scarce and later fetched high prices on the secondary market. The downturn also meant that several planned figures for 1997 never even reached production. By this point, it was clear that Turtles' dominance in toy aisles was nearing its end. With the newspaper strip behind him, Dan Berger finally had time for his own work, publishing Gutwalla, the Gingerbread Man, through Numbskull Press. Peter Laird and Jim Lawson also released a second Planet Racers graphic novel under Zeramio Studios, this time with a painted cover by Dooney, a taste of the aesthetic Peter would carry into Volume 4 a few years later. The saga itself wouldn't be completed for another 2 years. Meanwhile, at Image Comics, sales for the book were so low that around issue 15,
What should I run, Brian?
Franks started feeling like every issue could be their last. Internationally, the Turtles feature in Il Giornalino stopped being featured, ending a 4-year run of original adventures. Meanwhile, online rumors spread faster than ever thanks to the growing fan communities on AOL, CompuServe, Prodigy, and TV. Mentions of the 4th film quietly disappeared from NinjaTurtles.com, opening the door for fans, like Andrew Modine, to pitch their own spec screenplays, only to learn that no studio had genuine interest in producing a new TMNT.
Hey!
Another rumor claimed that a director's cut of the 1990 film was headed to...
Someone answered. Check that out. Everyone gets scared when I ask them. I put them on the spot.
Playmates released their last TMNT figures in 1990, many of which were from the Next Mutation show. However, most of them remained unfinished.
Really?
With the low sales numbers, Playmates pulled the plug on the toy line, marking the end of an era. But things weren't so grim at the beginning of 1998. The show finally made its
I just pulled that last night, too.
title of Hero Turtles, The Next Mutation, in the UK. Back in the United States, the Turtles had a crossover with the new show Power Rangers in Space in February. The new show gave the Power Rangers franchise a much boost at the time.
Did I not pull it from
That
Overstock?
same month,
Here we go.
Fox Kids Worldwide announced it was adding
I'm having a
10
real
hit shows
fun time
for the
finding shit today.
1999 season, and it will be extending existing shows like Power Rangers in Space and Ninja Turtles: The Next
Did I
Mutation.
not?
Around this time, NinjaTurtles.com started teasing changes
All right.
for the upcoming season.
No.
One character,
Yeah, a couple Scooby-Doo mysteries today.
Saban, was also in the eye of a storm of its own making. The Screen Actors Guild was boycotting them for underpaying its talent and production staff with very little overtime compensation or health benefits. This was the main reason they couldn't retain talent for more than 2 seasons, and it was likely a problem Next Mutation would have encountered had it been renewed for another season. There are many versions of what happened next, but the commonly accepted narrative is that Saban was producing a show for which they didn't own the characters, therefore had limited revenue compared to other franchises. To complicate matters further, the show was expensive to produce, and by the end of its run, ratings had a notoriously steep decline. One version states that Saban attempted to negotiate a larger percentage of the back end for an additional 26 episodes.
That's so weird. I know I pulled that last night.
Canceled the show.
Like I just relisted it.
For sure that the cancellation of the
Sorry, guys.
both sides by surprise. Turtle superfan Andrew Modine conducted some investigations at the time.
Yeah, for real. Let me see this real quick. This is gonna drive me nuts. You threw a couple curveballs today. I don't usually get hit like that.
Kevin Eastman was spreading the news of an upcoming second life for Next Mutation as an animated show and a comic book. This rumor was later debunked by Michael Moon. By November of that year, fans began sending ballots to Fox Kids, voting to bring back the show. However, by then, it was too late. So, how did a show that started as the #1
What is the fuck?
end up having such a drop in ratings just a few months later? Well, the drop in ratings was very likely not unique to the show. Advertisers started moving to stronger
Put it in the science stuff?
programming market, such as Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, as well as the then Fox Family Network. Overall, the Fox Kids Network experienced a drop of about 35% in ratings this season, despite outperforming the WB Network and ABC. The reality was that the way kids were consuming media had changed. From its peak in 1989, the percentage of children watching began a downward trend. In 1997 and 1998, 50% of kids were tuning into Nickelodeon, and 21 to 26
Dude, this is nuts. I just pulled that, bro.
The proliferation of cable networks fragmented the audience, which in turn affected advertising behavior. There were too many kids networks, and the glut meant cheaper ad spaces. Shows were
Dude, I have
successful.
over 2,000 comics, and I never have a problem finding anything.
Cable TV would become the new normal.
But 2 things today.
And networks would rely on merchandising synergy to survive. Of course, cable would end up dying in the following decade, But that's a story for a future chapter. By the end of the 1997-98 season, Nickelodeon became the first cable network to win the Saturday morning war.
Oh my God. Fuck me. Boom! I've never had to look that long for a book, ever. And of course it was where it's supposed to be. There's a signature on that girl.
Publishing letters in the voice of the turtles, including Venus. With all the Turtle Mania money gone, the Words and Pictures Museum had
Oh, goodness gracious.
and closed its doors on July 16th. Due to its
Oh, what's up?
They auctioned Kevin's art to fund its next phase.
What's up, Brian? Oh, you were here for that? It was embarrassing. Ugh. Like, someone could just name a random Marvel book for my buy it now. I'm like, yeah, it's in this box. Give me 2 seconds. I put that in the Nick box, which is not supposed to be there. That was a big no-no. Don't tell Ralph.
After failing on its expansion plans, Kitchen Sink Press dissolved. Kitchen Sink would return as an imprint of Dark Horse many years later.
There she goes.
For smelly work clothes. It's cleaner, whiter, brighter, and fresher.
For 35 years, Aquatot Swim School has been trusted by parents to help their children become safe and confident swimmers. With convenient locations,
I'm going to leave that up there for a minute because it took me so long to find it.
It's easier for
But I'm going to
parents
put it back where it belongs.
water safety. Find a location near you at aquatots.com.
Yeah, Brian, that's awesome, man. It's good to see you, dude.
Whether you're a professional technician or simply take pride in maintaining your own cars, Harbor Freight offers quality auto tools to meet your every need at prices that can't be beat. Harbor Freight, your automotive destination.
So how about it, you know? Let's go.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm so back. I might do 2 of these tonight because I might have to run out in a little bit.
Back at Andromed's, low sales were the reason for canceling TMNT.
And then I'll come back.
1999. By the end
And I might start again.
The book was selling half of what it needed to break even.
Oh, wait a second, Brian. Are you on tonight? Or is this your off week?
Significantly smaller as a result of the crisis. Yes, the book had a loyal following, but it wasn't enough compared to other series being
7:40.
at the time. Additionally,
Well, if I'm on,
schedule,
I'll raid you. If I'm not, I'll see you in the show.
Assuming it had already been canceled. Kevin and Peter would have funded the book for a while, had it not been for the absence of a show or a toy line to sustain it. Apparently, Americomics was
No sweat.
taking over the book at some point, keeping the creative team and numbering, but nothing came of it. Gary wrapped the last issue, closing as many plots as possible, with the idea that Peter Laird or the next creative team could take over the story in the future, give it a proper end. This would be the beginning of a very long story that will resume in a couple of chapters. For the first time since 1984, there were no new TMNT comics, shows, or movies in the works. It almost seemed as though the only things keeping the franchise alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run out in like about a half hour, and then I'll probably come back and jump back on. And then we're gonna tear down the set.
At the Words and Pictures Museum in
But
June 1999.
then once you're on,
The next chapter,
if I'm still on, like I said, I'll read you.
Peter Laird was at a Planet Racers signing alongside Jim Lawson and Dan Berger. At the reception, Peter met Rhea, Sarah, and Bridget, 3 young women who happened to be big TMNT fans. Peter spent several hours talking with them and noticed how the Turtles had a significant impact on their lives. An impact that...
Yeah, dude, it wasn't a bad one today. Work was good.
Success of the Turtle Mania years.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad day. Work was good.
Finally, pulling him out.
Wasn't too crazy.
After the event, he decided it was time to do a new volume of TMNT. In the following year, Peter would buy Kevin Eastman's interest in the franchise and Mirage Studios.
But yeah,
as well as take over
overall, I'd say it was a plus.
The Turtles lost.
Yeah, I got some of that stuff going on that I talked to you about before, but getting through it.
They finally returned to Peter. who would bring them back under a carefully curated period that I had to call the revival. Oh, that was a long episode. If you're still watching, leave a comment saying, "Go, go, Ninja Turtles!" Do you have memories from this dark period in turtle history? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the sewers.
Yeah, man. I think I probably took like 5 calls today. Yeah, it's going to be rough, man. But you know what? I shouldn't say anything, but you know how bad I am at keeping secrets. I'm probably going to live at the comic store, one of the LCSs here, for a little bit. The rent is cheap. He's like, dude, you could just stay at the store. I was like, well, maybe I will just live at the comic store.
Dude, you hear about the TikTok creator?
I could run shows.
It's a 45-day program designed to help creators grow on the platform and potentially receive up to $30,000.
Yeah, it might be fun.
Sounds like a no-brainer to join. I think so too. Join the Creator Growth Challenge today.
That soft, creamy texture. That fresh, milky flavor. That's Galvani Fresh Mozzarella. Experience the true Italian taste on your pizza. With Galvani, Italy's #1 cheese brand.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make lemonade out of these lemons.
#1 hit shelves. Mirage Studios transformed.
But I think it would be cool because I'll just run like every night. I don't know where I'm going to put my inventory though.
But just before Turtle Mania, Mirage Comics had to survive the black and white comics crash in the middle of an aggressive expansion into the hearts of kids around the world. Join me today in this 3rd episode of History in a Half Shell as we explore the calm before Turtle Mania. In previous episodes, we explored how Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird created the Turtles, and how that very first issue took everyone by surprise.
Yeah, I'm experimenting with running ads. On Facebook, I'm running some ads right now, and on YouTube, I'm actually running some ads for the panel. I promoted that, and then on Instagram and Facebook, I'm running ads for the Discord, hopefully to get more people in the Discord to see how it works. I like tweaking with that. Just take some of the profits from this and put it back into getting more people, you know?
Mirage is still managing several existing licenses and in-house merchandise, like the Dark Horse miniatures, the Palladium role-playing books, and their mail-order t-shirts. The Palladium RPG books were
9. Yep. That's just get a little sleeping mat, little sleeping bag. I'm easy.
Kevin and Peter were hesitant to sign over rights to just anyone. Thankfully, the comic was still selling well, giving them the leverage to be selective when choosing new partners. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the history of the franchise, I highly recommend checking out Andrew Farago's book, TMNT The Ultimate Visual History. It was an invaluable resource while putting this video together. Now let's talk about a game changer in this story, a licensing agent named Mark Friedman. Mark had been in the licensing business for a while. He'd learned the ropes working on major properties, learning how to help launch toy lines like G.I. Joe, and developing animated series like The Flintstones and Alvin and the Chipmunks. But then, Mark went freelance, and without a big property to represent, he had to settle for consulting.
Yep.
None of which paid the
Yep.
bills.
I'm with you, dude.
He even started waiting tables on the weekends, still hoping to land his first major client.
Totally with you on that.
Hanging out in game stores. And that's where he discovered the surprising depth and complexity of tabletop role-playing games. That experience would come in handy sooner than he thought. While consulting on the Robotech anime, Mark got a call from Kevin Symbieta, the president of Palladium Books. Symbieta was interested in acquiring the Robotech license, but Mark flipped the conversation. He asked Kevin what other licenses Palladium was working with, and that's when he heard the name Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mark was he rushed.
I feel like this book deserves to go on the rack. You're a rack book now.
He also reached out to Rick Obadiah, editor at First
Hooray.
Comics, the publisher handling the recolored collected editions. Rick sent him a copy of the collection, and once Mark saw the Turtles in full color, he knew he had
Dude,
to represent
the one thing, I mean, there's a few things I wanted at the free comic book day, but the one thing I wanted to get
Eric had fucking
Kevin and Peter had just moved to Northampton.
duo shade cards, like turtles he had done with duo shade, and I was like, I don't, you guys might have even heard me on the stream. I was like, dude, where'd you get the chemical? He's like, I got a bunch of it, like, because they don't make the chemical to do duo shade anymore.
They gave him a 30-day trial. If he could land the many opportunities, he'd get another 30. However, they were clear on one thing. Kevin and Peter would retain ownership of the turtles and have final approval.
What do you mean? Oh, you like Mirage #1? I've got a few different versions of it. I don't know what printing you're looking for, but the PBBZ is a Mirage #1, Volume 1, #1 reprint. I've got the 40th anniversary reproduction, which we watched the documentary for earlier. That's a #1, but it's technically not Mirage doing it because Mirage didn't exist at the time.
But there was a problem. The name Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you're after a third print, huh? No dice, my dude. I have a 4th print, and I got it graded.
Long enough to create a prototype, but ultimately they walked away.
Yeah, I'd get if you want a 3rd print, I'd get it as soon as you can, because those. I used to pay like $100, $200 for those. Now it's like $800, $1,000, maybe more.
Feel like a safe bet for big toy companies. And then there was the color. Historically, green was considered a tough sell in the toy aisle, at least until 1988. Out of options, Mark called an old friend, Rich Salas, Vice President of Marketing at the U.S. branch of Playmates Toys. Playmates was a Hong Kong-based manufacturer known for dolls and preschool toys.
Dude, it's like, just to tell you how quickly those enter and leave my life. Ralph texted, sent me an email last year. It was like, I got an unsigned 3rd print, and not even an hour went by, and I was like, I'll take it. He's like, oh man, I sold it. Like that's how fast that goes.
The project hit a wall after the duo lost.
Yeah, 3rd prints are quite a bit.
Bill Carlson, the president of Playmates' U.S. division, shut it down and told them to stop.
And what's up, Kodiak? Good to see you, man.
Validation after showing their early designs to Toys R Us. The feedback was strong enough that Bill Carlson gave the green light to keep going. By the early fall of 1986, Kevin, Peter, and Mark flew out to La Mirada, California, to meet with both Richard Salas and Bill Carlson. That same trip also included meetings with Marvel Productions. Marvel was interested in producing a 5-part animated.
Lurking while you're working. I like that. Did you guys see this artwork by this 1-of-1 artwork by the famous Brian's Comics TMNT? I think that's his first turtle. Maybe it's your first turtle. Is that the first turtle? No, you probably drew him when you were a kid. Is that your first adult turtle? And did you use the How to Draw book?
Sculpted by Steve Varner, inspired by the fantasy artwork by Frank Rosetta. They really fell in love with the Steve Varner one. After seeing what John Handy had been working on, and with some possible ideas on what changes could be made, the duo was happy to proceed. And by December of 1986, a deal for $150,000 was put in place for Playmates to develop toys based on the TMNT. As a result, Mark's contract was extended, and his freelance company, Surge Licensing, finally acquired its first client. At first, it seemed like 1987 was going to be another great year for Mirage. But that momentum didn't last. For the past 3 years, the comic book industry had been riding...
that's funny, I still got that Leonardo Micro Series signed Peter Laird.
Everyone was chasing the kind of collectability that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had achieved. But by 1987, the industry was imploding. Publishers were shutting down, and comic shops, unable to sell at once, were closing down. With fewer comic shops to distribute their books, and with comic shop owners having to carry untested indie comics, Mirage had to adjust its expansion plans. Prime Slime Tales, Rowan and Tony Basilicato's book, had to find a new publisher after just 2 issues. It moved to Now Comics, but was canceled again. This time after only 2 more issues in early 1987. Michael Dooney's Gizmo held on for a while, but got the axe after issue number 6.
All right, guys, we'll probably give it another 5 minutes or so.
Already in production. That unfinished story later appeared.
And like I said, I'm gonna go out and run some errands real quick, and I'll probably be back on.
Jim Lawson's Bait, Biker, and Orson only lasted 4 issues and was also collected in 1988. This wasn't the end for indie comics, though.
Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Fan base, like
I said, even if you never bought a thing, man, I just like hanging out with you guys. So appreciate it a lot. Thanks, guys.
Monica Sharp and Dave Garcia made the bold decision.
100% my pleasure, guys.
The book ran for 4 issues.
This is like my favorite thing to do. Like legit. I used to just play PlayStation every day after work or do something like that. Video games. And now I do this. I love you guys too. Big love. Yeah, Brian, I was talking that earlier about how I was going to start this show later. But you said like, oh man, one day you said like, oh man, I'm so glad you do it this time. It helps me get through work. I was like, all right, I'm not moving it. Yeah, we gonna keep it.
It was written and penciled by Jim Lawson and inked by Ryan Brown. The goal was to have a TMNT comic on the shelves every month, alternating between the main title and Tales. And while that schedule didn't always work out perfectly, it came pretty close. Tales also gave Mirage a place to introduce new characters, like Cousin Sid, Nobody, the Rat King, and Leatherhead. Meanwhile, in the main game, the Shredder made a deadly
the way it should be.
Series return, forcing the Turtles, Splinter, April, and Casey to seek refuge in Northampton. The Turtles would end up staying there for a long time, mostly because the Mirage artists were more familiar with Northampton than New York. But the story also dragged out for other reasons. The studio was growing.
You're a good one.
And their recent dive into licensing the property was stretching Kevin and Peter thin. Part of what made the Turtles
you're raising them right.
Was the fact that their creators were so different. Peter Laird was more of a purist. On the other hand, Kevin Eastman didn't mind being a little flexible when adapting their work. Those differences started to show, especially when it came to approving licensing. To give themselves a bit of breathing room, they started alternating issues. It helped for a while, but it also left some fans scratching their heads about where the story was going. Still, the duo was getting along. It was around this time that they started kicking around an idea for a black and white graphic novel, one inspired by The Dark Knight Returns. The story would take place in a dystopian future and follow older turtles. The idea was eventually shelved under the weight of other responsibilities and wouldn't be realized until decades later, when Tom Waltz and Kevin Eastman, with Peter's blessing, turned it into what we now know as The Last Ronin. But while Mirage couldn't afford diversifying the line, they continued expanding their circle of influence. They did another less-known crossover with Service in the pages of Miami Mice comic number 4, a Mark Bodie book. That book ended with that issue. But
that's awesome, Brian.
Collaborations with Mirage in later years. By the end of 1987, Mirage had released 2 anthologies.
Yeah, I would have liked to have a kid probably, but
for other creators to play in their universe. The first was Turtle Soup.
I don't have the right genes. I'm bipolar. So runs in my family. I was like, let's have this stop with me. We don't need more bipolar people in the world.
Creator, Stan Sakai. Just 2 months later, Mirage followed it up with Grunts, an anthology of war stories featuring anthropomorphic animals.
Yeah, Brian sends me pictures, so I send Brian extra stuff in his packages. I'm like, Brian, that's not for you, it's for little Brian. And then he'll send me pictures of him playing with it. It's my favorite thing.
On paper. But behind the scenes, Kevin and Peter were under growing stress. And it wasn't just because of the comics. The real pressure was coming from what was happening with the toy line and the car.
Babies don't stop, won't stop, can't stop for anything. And behind all those wild moves is an unstoppable Pampers 360 diaper. For an unbeatable fit that's up to 100%.
Kodiak, I wanted to send those eyelashes for your wife.
Changing with Pampers is easier than
But you said you don't do it.
Wraps up, pulls on, and they're off because they're
Kodiak, did you buy something today? No, you didn't.
Pampers. Behind
Don't let me forget. You get a bonus from your Discord. You get it. Oh my god.
Others.
Bonus. What I was gonna call it a treat. My brain's saying treat, but it's not a treat. You got to get a bonus item for winning the giveaway. Don't let me forget.
Powerful relief of your worst symptoms, like nasal congestion. Claritin clears.
Get one of these Jimmy John's sandwiches, chips, and a drink.
Ooh, I think the one I had, I sold. I had the regular one and a signed one.
The $8.99 meal deal, limited time at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
I think I'm almost positive I sold. Oh no, huh?
Adapting the turtles into toys.
I think that's Dooney. Oh no, this is Portsmouth Minicon. Nope.
On, when it was unclear if the launch would sell well. Concepts for deluxe figures included things like
my inventory's throwing me for a loop today. Yeah, because his Oh, is that?
They were considered too complex, too expensive for the first round of releases. There was even a plan to include mini comics in the toy packaging, but that idea was scrapped.
Yeah, I sold it.
Speaking of packaging, Playmate knew the figures had to stand out.
I had a signed one and an unsigned one. Sorry, man.
They were designed asymmetrically, posed in
Have a great night, Brian. We're gonna be wrapping up here in a minute anyway.
A bold contrast to the stiff, neutral poses of G.I. Joe or Masters of the Universe figures. John Handy added a clever extra to boost the play factor, an articulation point in the forearm. This allowed for more ninja-like movements and way better weapon handling. One of the earliest ideas for the line was a theme of humans versus mutants. John Handy had designed an entire wave of human villains, each modeled after the types of folks you'd find in New York City. There were punks, football players, mechanics, bikers, even a garbage man. None of these made it to shelves, but one concept.
But yeah, guys, we're probably going to wrap it up here in a minute. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys.
As part of the crowdfunded Turtle Power sequel. Another wild idea was for a playset, a lair with a giant glow-in-the-dark face built into it.
Oh, what's he on, SMZ?
The playsets were all about big, dramatic faces, like Castle.
Oh, cool. I will keep an eye out for that.
This one had a story.
And I'll probably not be live at that time because that's probably going to take all the turtle. We'll see. Wednesday's rough.
The face. He would appear as a living, mutating section of the sewer, serving as a teacher, an advisor, and a judge. But the concept was vetoed by Bill Carlson, who felt the face looked a little too much like a deity. Something they were trying to avoid in the toy line.
Oh yeah, guys, I'm famous for saying I'm going to stop the stream and then sitting here and do nothing for like another 20 minutes.
The comics also featured colorful covers, but these still didn't help differentiate them.
But I'll catch you guys in the Discord, and I'll let you know if I'm coming back on. Let's see if we got anyone fun to raid. Create a raid. It's never anyone I know. Who are all these people? Whatever. Let's do new sellers.
Color-coded headbands. Kevin and Peter didn't think it was necessary, but they eventually agreed. So how was it decided which turtles would get each color?
Let's do dynamic forces.
Had ideas. Leonardo would wear blue, a regal color.
See you later, dudes.
Samurai